So, what is it, like November 15th? Like 2 days shy of 2 days. I wish y'all could see this car over here behind this tree. See what I see, but anyway, 2 days shy of my baby turning 6. Not my baby. He's a big boy now, a bigger boy. He's still a child, but anyway, woke up, just gonna speak and declare that it's a good day, and that it ain't one of them days, just one of them days. Ooh. I try to wake up on the right side of the bed more often than not, and just, in general, yeah, I want to wake up on the right side of the bed. Always giving God the glory, and yeah, but definitely can't deny that things are on my mind that, oh, excuse me. I was having a dream too that I was like trying to gargle some salt water or whatever. My throat was bothering me, and like actually my throat is kind of bothering me, so I don't know. I've been trying to bundle up when I go outside and stuff like that, but anyway. So I had some dream, and it had this particular person in it. It's a female cousin to to my boys' dad, and like I can't even remember what all was going on in the dream. I just remember her being in it. We might have tussled, or we might have said something, or had some words or whatever back and forth. But anyway, the dream just got me to thinking about again and I feel like it's God. I'm gonna change the view for now, but I feel like it's God, the Holy Spirit, just reminding me of those things that went on over the years and stuff. And one thing I will say is that the Bible speaks about love not keeping a record of wrongdoing, and of course, God throwing stuff in the sea of forgetfulness. I'm gonna tell you this. I forgive, but I have not forgotten those things. And it's just certain stuff, even though I can't remember all the details, it's certain stuff that just like almost won't leave me. And it's not that I was holding on to it, but it just, you know. And the funny thing is, somebody told me to let it go, just because I was still speaking about something, do not mean that I haven't, well, I'm not going to say I haven't got over it, but don't mean that I haven't, like purposed to let it go. And so just a reminder of when she told me to let stuff go or whatever. And I'm like, honey, just because I'm speaking about something do not mean that I haven't forgave somebody. And, but the funniest thing is I think, hold on, maybe it was 2018, had been. And she was telling me that, and then like the same year, I didn't have to worry about letting anything go because that person literally was gone. And so anyway, um so yeah, the dream or whatever, it just got me to thinking about the things that went on over the past few years, how I've been helpful and beneficial, and if I wasn't being helpful nor let's just say naturally beneficial or anything like that, I was always praying. I was always praying, of course, for my safety, my household, this, that, and the third. And then how once I learned however led to pray regarding any neighbors or anybody over here in this neighborhood or any, just the community period, the world period, whatever. But it's like so many people just tried to gang up, diminish, and try to sabotage me. I was gonna even mention yesterday how it seemed like it was certain areas that I was doing well for myself and stuff like that, and I like kind of let my biologicals in on it, and it seemed like neither one of them was happy for me. They wanted something different for me or whatever the case may be. Understandable. Even one went on to say, oh, this one of my one of my children did it right. And what I'm saying, I don't know who that, I don't know how he can declare what's right and wrong when he's not. To me, if you want to get into that, by appearances, he wasn't living right. So anyway, that's what he said, and I just left it at that. I didn't even try to, I wasn't getting into comparison and competing and stuff like that. So I definitely didn't. I don't even know if I felt offense by it. I think I just was like, I listened to it and I heard it. Oh, so that's what they think right is, and whatever, whatever. And then I looked at the whole situation as a whole. Like, you was a parent in the household raising them basically until, or at least contributing to raising them with an actual presence until 18 years old. You wasn't in my household doing it. And then there was other things that, the person that he declares did it right, got certain benefits, and I seen it with my own eyes, and so I was like, wow. And so and so yeah, I didn't get everything, the same stuff or whatever, period. um People can, try to say that I didn't, but I didn't. I didn't get the same opportunities to, whether it was mess up or succeed, whatever the case may be. I just didn't, and it is what it is. So, to me, you just never compare somebody like that, even if they did come from the same womb. You never compare. With me and my household now, my daughter was given the equal and same opportunities as what's going on in my household. But once she left my household and decided not to come back, at her own whim or whoever and however whoever's influencing her, then that's when she could start screaming, well, I didn't get the same opportunity. But I will put it back on her. The responsibility will still be back on her. And I will remind her, well, you had the opportunities to come here. I gave my daughter 2 and 3 and maybe 4 opportunities to. It's like, hey, I want to be at home where I've been safe and I've been raised at all. I'm saying, most of my life. But anyway, and not to say that that's gone, but let God's will be done. Let God's will prevail, because His will is the most effective. So I'm gonna leave it at that. But yeah, not to get off all the way off topic. Just thinking about what happened over the years. I remember even just way back, just knowing as soon as I moved in the neighborhood, people already observing me. Like I said, I was already talking to my boys' dad before I got, like, right before I moved over here. Like, when I was in the process of moving over here, I get over here, he finds, he pounds me. I'm not even gonna say it's in a bad way, but he just kept on being adamant about where you live, where you live, where you live. Just kept asking and wanting to get over to see me. Now, I did make the connection to link up, but he was adamant. And, like I said, I can even go back to 2003, before I ever met him. And I just remember hearing his name and stuff like that. And it resonated with me. It is what it is. It was 2 names that was spoken, and they both, kind of resonated. But one I ran into and didn't bite, didn't even try. And him, I did. And he did. He bit back. I don't want to say bit back, but I don't want to say took the bait or anything like that. But he came in this direction. But yeah, he was really, really adamant about it, in speech, in action somewhat, but definitely in speech. His mouth was trying to definitely write him a check that he has might not cash. But anywho, he was adamant, and then he got over here and this and third. Of course, this was in like February. It wasn't January, but it was definitely like February of 2010 that I linked up with him, because I know I had like a housewarming or something like that in one of the months. I don't know. And what was it? And so yeah, linked up then, and this is when he was living with the female that he was, I guess, dealing with, or whatever it was. I don't know. Well, I don't want to reduce it, but I guess, a female that he cared about, and, or seemed to, or whatever the case may be. He did tell me that he liked the stuff that the girl could get for him and stuff like that. Like, she was, I guess, connected to certain people that was, I guess, paying for their meals and whatever else. I don't know. So, and that's understandable, but do you actually like the person, though? And from what he told me about her, what he spewed about her was green-eyed devil. And I was just like, oh, okay. And I left it at that. And he wasn't over here complaining about her to me at all. Nothing like that. He said that like long after. And so when he first came over and stuff like that, he was like, "Oh, my aunt live over here." And I'm like, "What?" And I didn't know, where or anything like that, but I just felt like, "Oh shit. Oh my gosh, here we go." And I did not know how close and who his aunt was, but then he went on to let me know, and it was, guess what? It was beautiful. It was just directly across the street, right? So, her and all these roaches on this plan. Now, her and all her kids and stuff like that. And I don't want to say it in a bad way, but yeah, her and her kids. And then at the time, she was claiming this dude as her friend, but he was spending the night. I had already dealt with that in my daughter's dad's mom when she was calling somebody, "Oh, that's just my friend," and he was spending the night. No, honey, y'all doing something more. And of course, deeper, it was, of course, the pharmaceutical fellowship that they had going on just to try to keep it a little clean or whatever. But anyway, so yeah, dude was selling drugs at her house, and I guess she never got caught up in that or whatever the case may be, and is what it is. And they kept claiming that I was okay. So move forward, I find that out. Kept claiming that I'm calling the cops on them, just over and over, just saying I'm calling the cops on them whenever they was having little shindigs. She invited me to a couple of them. She always did it really through him. Oh, she said you can come and this, that, and the third. I don't even remember her directly really giving me an invite like that, but it was always through him. And so I guess I trusted in and like, oh, okay, she said I can come. It could have been a setup for me to go over there and. But the one time that I was very wise and very smart, I went over there and I was like, "Thank you for the invite, but I'm good. I don't, y'all have a good time or whatever." And I left it at that. And so then word started getting around to everybody that I didn't down to to her child and everything like that. I didn't want to come because whatever, and I did. I gave an excuse that time. I was like, I got my daughter, this and the third, and I'm not finna. But I did let her son know. I was like, yeah, I just didn't want to come. I said that, but I just didn't want to come. And so, I guess that's in a sense I just didn't keep it real with her then. But it's like she already from the beginning plotted not to definitely keep it real with me or whatever. And so, trying to get to the points of the matter because it's a lot. So I linked up with him. We didn't mess around or nothing like that. We just knew each other or knew of each other, should I say, and just was kind of getting to know each other, talking, chit chatting, this and the third. But meanwhile, he was still in that so-called relationship with that girl, and I remember him just going over and being across the street at something that they were having. And me and him had already met, so he knew he had came over here. And so I guess I should have took it as a red flag then that he's not gonna speak when he's with her or whatever. And that must be. I figured, of course, that's his girlfriend or whatever, his at the time living girlfriend. And then I didn't know how close he lived and stuff like that. He lived right around the corner. Um, didn't know prior that he had just left out the house, not the house, but the apartment from and right across the way with his daughter's mom to just go be in another household. And I mean, I look back and I'm like, okay, these dudes they learn from either a female or whatever to how to go in different households and live off of people or whatever the case may be and jump from household to household to bed to bed. I'm like, wow, that's what y'all mama's sitting out here teaching y'all. Or some type of way allowing y'all to learn or whatever. But anyways, because even with my daughter's dad, I look back and now he wasn't bed hopping and stuff like that with me, or house hopping, should I say? But he was on the phone with some people and stuff like that, and he had let me know about it or whatever, and it was to get. He told me flat out it was to get money out of him, and I didn't understand that. I didn't comprehend that because I was not living like that. I wasn't doing, what I'm saying, all that, whatever. And then when her dad was he wasn't living here at all by far, but he probably spent a night or two or whatever. And he showed me quick that if he step out my door, and again it's back across the street, but looking across the street, he seen something across the street, not that he liked, but that he knew this person. He showed me how quick his to me it was disloyalty. It was like, absolutely not, and you won't come over here doing that over here, because this is really a place that I'm trying at the time. Definitely, this is a place I'm trying to get stuff established for me and my daughter. And I didn't realize that it was hood, but it's, it was, or whatever. It's definitely coming along, but honey, you got a long way to go, to me, in my opinion. But yeah, you ain't finna do that over here. None of that. So of course then we knew I can't deal with him like that. And I was still in the process of leaving him alone while I was linked up with the boys' dad. But again, me and the boys' dad, we didn't like link up like that until I know October came. I linked back because I lost contact with this dude. October came, I linked back up with him. And I looked back to, he was like on the day of my housewarming, he was at a party that they was having across the street. He he could have came over here and knocked on the door. I probably would have let him in and talked to him this, that, and the third. He didn't. But he sent his dad. Well, I'm not gonna say he sent, but his dad and whoever, I think his brother came over here, his so-called uncle. I didn't let them in. They brought some food and this, that, and the third. Seen different people, thinking that it was gonna be. I guess that was for like to fake the funk or whatever. Seeing different people coming over here and all of that, and to me, them still my people, even though I don't associate with them like that. But I never I didn't burn bridges and stuff like that with them people. We just kind of branched off. But was having that, so I guess they thought I was gonna be having stuff all the time. That was just a little slight housewarming, this, that, and the third, whatever. And so by the appearances, they was looking like, oh yeah, she connected to this, that, and the third, whatever. And to me, that's what y'all get for judging people by appearances and stuff like that. So anyway, that was them trying to pry in, get in, this, that, and the third. It was them coming over, talking to me. And that's when the males came over and talked to me and trying to fill me out or whatever and all that. And I had called I didn't call the cops. Well, I called the 911 because a car was on fire over here. And I'm not into looting and burning and all that and tearing stuff up in a place where I'm trying to live. I'm trying to sleep at night. I'm just not into that. So if they take that as that one time that I called the cops on them and they try to make it like every time, okay, whatever. That was in their mind. But I didn't keep calling the cops on nobody over nothing, over petty stuff or whatever. I ain't got time for that. If you wasn't coming, even when they even came for me, but if you wasn't coming for me and mine, I'm definitely not finna do that. But anyway, so they tried to make it stick. Then of course I linked up with the boys' dad, got pregnant by him. He asked me, and we came into agreement and this, that, and the third or whatever. And we ended up having a boy, and of course, they denied my son and kept trying to make him feel into his heart and all of that my son wasn't his. And at first it went from, oh, I don't never see nobody over there. That's what he was telling me. He said, yeah, she was saying, I don't see nobody over there. It's not for her to even report back to you. Like, did you tell her that we was, I mean, and this was before we was probably even doing anything. But then it went to, oh, I don't know if that's your baby. And I did have people coming over here. I had certain people sometimes spend the night, this, and the third. But it was people that spent nights over here that I definitely didn't do nothing with. So they was just too busy clocking me. And I have not forgotten this stuff. Haven't forgotten how I was treated. Haven't forgot, how I guess I was looked at. So they used that to try to cause stuff between me and him. And I just kept telling him, and I just let him, try to sort it out for himself. But I tried to tell him, like, whatever, y'all claim and think is going on is not. And then he would come back giving me messages. Well, he would take messages over there to them when I said I don't want my son going around all these drunken parties and this, that, and the third. That was that. I didn't ever say I didn't want my kids playing with the kids or anything. I have no problem. Try to allow my daughter to play with, the ones that was her age, but some stuff happened, some stuff transpired, some little perverted, spiritual stuff took place, and I was just like, and I talked to my granddad about it, and we prayed about it, and he was like, yeah, that's just a spirit. Okay, well, that spirit's not welcome in my house, and we're not gonna do that. And ever since then it was said, oh, she don't like us. It was told in their house, oh, she don't like us. I'm like, no, I don't like what happened, but I didn't have a, you know what I'm saying? I didn't mistreat you or change up on you. Then stuff just went awry, but it was definitely him over here stirring up stuff between the two households, and then he can just leave whenever he want to, and then boil down to 2019. I'm gonna go back over some of the other stuff, but 2019 came and he was asking me for help from for that vicinity regarding, and I'm like, that's so funny because you came in the neighborhood period. You went from back and forth from my house to their house, and you started stuff, and you was feeling yourself, I guess, and feeling like, yeah, I got, both households that I can. I'm just like, Lord have mercy, and then trying to pull me into whatever the family, quote unquote, family shenanigans, I guess. And no, I'm not doing that. I'm not clearing up nothing for y'all. I'll observe and see what's going on, but I'm not cleaning up and clearing up none of that stuff. But I mean, I can't say I haven't been used in the process. I definitely have, but yeah, but anyway, it was said my son wasn't his. I had to go through the stress and strain of getting paternity. I wasn't worried, but had a slight concern because I had just like ended this whatever it was with this guy. He told me we was going steady, and I'm like, "Ugh." And I ain't heard. And I'm old school and old fashioned, but I hadn't heard that in a shoot. I liked it. He was a little old fashioned. He had stuff about him that I really did like, but the stuff that I didn't like, I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't bear with it. And so anyway, cut it a little close, but not, you know what I'm saying? Not enough like for him to go hard like he was doing and keep leaning and letting them. He initiated letting them people into my business and my life and stuff like that and welcoming them to have an opinion and stuff like that. And sitting around them, instead of y'all sitting around talking about how y'all can build, y'all was sitting around talking about how you think I'm wrong or whatever. And they was wrong, completely wrong. Both of my kids are his, and so ever since then, it was trying to be written off as, that's old when we ain't, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, but y'all can address me about something, but you feel like I'm not gonna address you about what's really going on, what's the real thing that tries to stick? Because my kids are still here, thank God. Of course, if they could have it their way, honey, the kids wouldn't be here, their dad wouldn't be here, and all types of other stuff. And of course, me, it would be nothing. But anyways, I tried to get along with them, especially when I had the boys and stuff like that, because I'm just about family. That was the main thing. But other than that, I wasn't trying to really be. I'm not being funny. I was not trying to befriend them or anything like that. I was just gonna keep the peace because of my kids was born in the bloodline. And so, so yeah, so I just looked back, and like I said, it was about this dream this morning, and me and the girl, maybe it wasn't, I didn't even think it was hostile words, but it was just us going back and forth. And we might have fought in the dream. I don't know. But this is the thing. This person that was in the dream, she had her a chance with me up close and personal, and then she did her, you know what I'm saying? She went on and did her own little thing, and I wasn't bothering. I didn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't do anything to them, and or to her directly to make her, but the way she brought it to me, oh, you called us a bunch of drunks, but why is he telling us though? Because we grown. Like, right. I mean, you should, I'm glad you could see that clearly. Like, why is he trying to start stuff and stir stuff up between? And I guess that's when they trying to point out, girl, he crazy or whatever. Okay, so it's not that it's excusable, but what they've been saying, flag on the play. But yeah, couple flags on the play. Quite a few flags on the play. But anyway, that still doesn't disregard the fact that I still been over here being a neighbor to y'all, and at least if it in the least a neighbor, but not even that. I'm more because I know my children was born in the bloodline. That's just period. And so that doesn't change the fact that I didn't do nothing to y'all. And I'm talking about the one that was in my dream today. She didn't do nothing like physically to me, but I know she's done did little slick stuff and said little slick stuff or whatever. And then I just flat out seen her like a couple months ago try to try to act. And I ain't got time for that. Go ahead and act. You can do that somewhere else. And then, of course, they be doing their mama's bidding and stuff like that. When their mama found out that I was younger and she so-called had, this is her words, I got that little bitch, I got kids her age, and act like she was, I'm gonna say act like she was gonna fight me because she knew that her so-called husband during the time was holding her back, and then now her deceased nephew, he was, in which the deceased nephew was used as a pawn, and then and then turn around and act like they gonna hold her back like she's this type of girl. Let that broad go. But this is the thing about it. She was wanting to act like she was fighting me, trying to fight me while I was holding one of my sons in my arms. And like, what kind of madness? What kind of, you know what I'm saying? What kind of lady are you? If you, but anyway, that's what was said, and then yeah, so they started doing her bidding and stuff like that because it would be told to me. But that's my mama. This is by her gay son, which is her oldest child.
Can I have this?
What is that? No, you don't need no candy. Anyways, by her gay son and stuff like that. Basically another just a female. Then I don't know how he became gay or anything like that, or whatever the case, or whether he feel like he was born that way or whatever. But basically another male that was brought up by a female, and you trying to you mimicking your mom and stuff like that. And then he started trying to tell me his issues in between. I'm like, I'm not here for y'all issues like that. Y'all think that's what this is? That's not what this is. And you know, it didn't initially turn into what it is today until, really they showed me how they was gonna be. And so, it is what it is. It is what it is, and to God be all the glory. but yeah, I'm just say it's some hijacking and stuff going on, but it's really to me it is to be beneficial to everybody, but I just don't know if it's gonna be as pretty as every so-called everybody think or whatever, because they literally try to sabotage and, like I said, diminish my life, diminish my gratefulness, my not gratefulness, my greatness, my success, and things like that. And it's like literally a whole, what they say, whole lot of gang Okay. um um I don't know what else to say when it comes to that. I just say, when I don't like gang thugs and bullies. I don't like people that just take it upon themselves to just bully and and gang up on other people. And I have always been that person that, what I'm saying, it was me. I was the oldest. I think younger, my sister was a baby. But it was always me who, I guess now I look back, I guess my mama was out. The woman that biologically carried me, she was out. Having get vision around, already had my sister with her dad when I was younger. Cause let me see, my sister is about 3 or 4 years younger than me, something like that. And so I guess when I was like 3 or 4, that's what was going on or whatever. And I guess she was still trying to live her life, as a teenager and stuff like that. No, I ain't had no child at a teenage age, but I could have. I almost want to say I should have, but I definitely could have. But of course, they forced me to get an abortion, this, that, and the third, whatever. I was gonna say, shoot. So anyway, they've just been coming for me subtle ways, shit. Sometimes outright, but it's just subtle ways, and I don't know. Everywhere I move and go, I don't know what be the issue as far as me being there or whatever. I mean, just my presence. Like, I don't have to even say anything. Just be my presence. And I don't know what they see when they look at me. Because they really try to portray it as just somebody evil and wicked and this, that, and the third. And I just be like, I don't know what to tell y'all because that's not me, definitely, but I'm not, I don't know. I guess I just don't feel like I owe y'all no explanation. Um, I don't know. I don't know if they felt like I had a superior attitude. I don't know, but I know that the so-called supposed to be the lady of the house, the one who claimed, oh, that little bitch, I got kids her age, this, that, and the third. She told her son to let her son feel like, um, oh no, well he came over. It wasn't her. Well, she might have encouraged it and tried to set it up, but he walked over with my boys' dad prior to my boys' dad being my boys' dad. My kids wasn't born, and he was like, "Oh, you gotta speak to people instead of saying, hey, how you doing? This and the third. You so itching to tell me what I gotta do and what I need to do. I don't know who you think you are, cause I don't get down like that. I don't answer to those voices. It's only one voice that I bow and submit to." So that was my thing. That already let me know a lot of what I needed to know. Is your approach and everything. It's like, you could be operating in ignorance, probably was, but I'm not gonna give you the time to even continue. And so you gotta speak to people. And I was like, well, I don't fool with everybody. And I just said it like that. Oh, she mean, she mean. I mean, and he will stamp this mean label on different people. He did that with somebody else. Oh, that lady mean, that lady mean. Because people don't come out their house and mingle with y'all and do all that, that do not mean that they're mean. That don't mean that they killers. That don't mean, no. Now I realize there's some creepy folks over here and ain't no telling what they be doing behind closed doors. But don't just assume that. And to me, in the black community, that's what we do. And I don't even want to get into black, white, this, and the third, because period. I'm in the black community. I'm not in a white community. Have I interacted with white people? Yes, I have. Have they gotten on my nerves? Yes, they have. Some of them have. Some of them is cool, down to earth, whatever, But I haven't had a lot of experience with that. But I've had a lot of experience with the so-called us, and I don't be liking what I see. And to me, that's people that kind of reflects people everywhere, period. But everybody got some internal stuff, and going through the process of life. But yeah, when they came at me like that, and then when I want to call them names and stuff, I'm gonna say SI for her. I'm gonna say OI. Yeah, I'm just going by their initials. OI. Um um Yeah, came at me the wrong way. I even let him ride in my vehicle before he came out, asked for a ride. So I let him ride in my vehicle. It ain't no gratitude, no nothing like that. It's just that's you owe us that. That's what they feel entitled to or whatever. And then I definitely got in my vehicle when I was trying to help, the kids and stuff stay safe and and warm when it come to that's what I learned, I guess, with my mom. My mom used to take us up to the bus stop and stuff like that, and sometimes maybe other kids and stuff would get in there. But yeah, it would just keep y'all warm and stuff instead of us all standing out here, any dogs or anything like that. So that was my thing or whatever. And but the girl, she smokes weed and stuff like that. I don't do that. So maybe she just feel like she couldn't relate to me when it comes to that. I was fine as long as you wasn't smoking it over here or trying to peer pressure me. but But yeah, and then they got two other younger siblings, and one I interacted with the female, and the way she even did it was like, like entitled. Oh, I want to come see the baby, even though y'all don't even say nothing to me or whatever. And that's my problem. I shouldn't have let people even touch my son. That y'all don't speak to me. Y'all didn't try to start all this stuff. But that's the type of forgiving person that I was, and I still am. I still forgive, but I just haven't forgotten. I just feel like, yeah, accountability is not just at hand. It's here, and of course, I feel like even though she didn't try to so-called maybe run or leave or whatever, and then try to escape this place. I don't want to say this place like this neighborhood, but I guess in a sense it is. But escape certain stuff that she's did and started up. She started stuff over here, and then we'll leave the neighborhood and go somewhere else and try to act like somebody else is gonna have carry out her issues, do her bidding and stuff like that. It just be crazy. So that, but I don't know. I can't remember the dream really. I just know SI was in it, and it was like words or something exchanged, and like I said, maybe a tussling or fighting or whatever. But This is my thing. I'm not worried about them people. I take note of what has happened so that way I don't let that same stuff occur and fall into that same old trap. Because, honey, I'm definitely too old now because that was 10, 11 years ago. Not 11, 10. Well, yeah, 10, 11 years ago. And here I am today. And it's also because people already feel like, oh, she's not in the struggle. That's one thing. Like, what? This right here is already indication, but and so they just wanted to pull me down and stuff and see if I would have gotten even closer to them, they would have had other ways to be able to pull me down. But the closest I got to them is pretty much him, being connected to him, and that's that. You know what I'm saying? So but it's a lot more details. Like I said, I can't remember every dang on day and detail of stuff, but I remember words that were said to me, and then I look back and like, honey, I took a bag of food over there when I did go. I took a bag of was tilapia. One time they put it, you know what I'm saying? They did it, and then I contributed. But other than that, I really can stay at home. I don't. I live right here across the street. You know how it's my house is right here. I'm not coming out of my way or anything like that. Y'all are not far out the way to where, oh, if I get out here, I'm stuck. Or, no, baby, I can just walk right across the street. I'm good. So, that was the thing. Y'all haven't, you know what I'm saying, did nothing major in my life, period. Or even my kids. But I'm not even going to get on that about the kids and what people feel like I ain't did nothing for them and this and the third. But what you have done is try to sabotage their parents as a whole and just period and try to mess up opportunities that could be afforded to them. That's what you done. And so, and then tried to holler off, oh, I killed a snake that was in your yard. I never even thought to ask, well, where is it at now? Or anything like that. But, okay, well, thank you, appreciate it. Good. Be glad. You should be glad. I killed a snake that came out your yard. Okay, wonderful. I don't know. Did you want a reward? You want a cookie? What you want? But yeah, it's over the years. It be that crazy stuff, and I just be like, ugh. And I don't know. It just to me, it just shows people will try to pull other people down, and yep, it be that so-called crabs in the barrel. And I just try to be not to be that crab in the barrel. Baby, I eat crabs in a barrel if necessary. But yeah, I ain't doing that, and so I forgive, but I still ask God, Lord, hold these people accountable because it don't make no sense. And it's like, to me, it goes way back, even before I moved over here. It goes back to the people that first, basically tried to attack me physically, verbally, and, mainly this one was spiritually and verbally and stuff like that. But, no, nobody put their hands on me since I've been over here, and I thank God for that. But, well, besides him, and maybe sometimes attacks and verbal, and physical abuse came or assault or whatever came because of them sending out like bad signals or whatever, not liking me and this and the third. But yeah, they love the reports of, oh, he putting his hands on her, he doing this. I'm like, Lord, that to me, you trying to get something started between my daughter's dad and him? Why? It's like, wow. And I had to like keep that clean and clear that up and let it be known, like, no. And then furthermore, if he's not putting his hands on your daughter, so don't, not to say that's not a red flag if it was happening, but he's not doing anything to her, so you don't need to be trying to be concerned about me. And now I can't tell nobody how to feel about me or anything like that, but, if I let you know, I'm straight, then you need to. But my daughter's dad kept on getting pulled in and reeled in and all that. They both, and I feel like my daughter's dad wanted to. He wanted to try to have something on me, and oh yeah, they saying this about her. I'm gonna agree. I'm gonna just go ahead and, you know, I'm like, okay. And then so he finally told me, nobody, nobody know how to take you. Okay, wonderful. God knows how He created me, and He knows how to deal with me and handle me. So wonderful. I'm glad y'all feel that way. That's the place I want y'all to be at. The same confusion y'all sent out, that's the confusion y'all gonna operate in. And me personally, I don't care if it's long term or whatever. I do pray that that stuff don't try to show back up and affect my life, my house, anything. And when I say my house, or even my daughter who's not under this roof, but y'all wanna operate in confusion. And that's the thing. She want to operate in confusion and be the brunt of confusion regarding my household too. Then, gal, I ain't saying go out, but girl, tread lightly. But y'all, it's been so much stuff. Talking about it's just been so much, and I just be like, wow, y'all just, yeah, y'all amaze me, but to me, it's not in a good way at all. Like y'all just full retarded, like just really go full retarded, and I don't be wanting to speak anything derogatory over anybody or anything like that. I just be chilling. But yeah, I don't know why this dream came up, but I'm continuously asking God for a resolve. And, sometimes I just feel like I was scared to ask God for a resolve because the way He resolved it and He used me and utilized me or allowed me to go through that process. When I last asked for something resolved, oh gosh, it was crazy. I didn't even lay hands on anybody. But it was a situation where it could have, where I'd be knocking on doors and stuff because I literally be making house calls and stuff like that. But so that's all I'm saying. I don't want to make no house calls. Lord knows I don't. Um, but God empower me, give me strength, and I just pray, Lord. Yeah, don't do it without me, but Lord, if it's anyone, I don't have to make no house calls. And if people think they want to make a house call regarding my house, then they're gonna be dealt some blows, some consequences, this, that, and the third. But anyways, I don't know. I don't know what it is. I just know that honestly, I just want this stuff to like go away. Like that's like a nuisance and stuff that I feel like I could just deal with. I don't want to deal with it for the rest of my life, but that's something. Like, okay, y'all making a little bit of noise, whatever. I don't care. But yeah, of course, that other thing regarding being connected to another female, that right there, that's not nothing that I want to deal with for the rest of my life at all. But yeah, just for me, I'm already pretty much not deeply connected, thank God, but connected to their bloodline or whatever because of my kids are bloodline, but and just at a distance. I ain't still nothing, you know what I'm saying? I didn't steal anything from them. It is what it is. And that's what these certain families and bloodlines and stuff be feeling like they own that person. So you got to go through them to get, and I'm like, I'm not going through nothing to get to him. It's none of that. I'm not doing none of that with y'all. And I don't want to get to him at this point in time, of course, naturally, in a natural way. I pray that God, is speaking to him and showing him how he needs to be led in life and how he needs to operate. But Lord, I can't believe I'm back at that because, man, for a moment, I wanted to stop praying that he even be led of God. They even be led of God as far as that because I just felt like he was so damn lost and so highly influenced by everybody. But, but anyway, I've been at peace with not seeing certain faces over here and stuff like that in this neighborhood, and I really would be good if I never seen them again. But also, to a certain extent, it's something that I just feel like is not done and I haven't seen yet that I need to see. That's my feelings. So, God knows though. God knows the details. But I'm gonna get off this right now because I can't even remember the dream like that. I just know she was in the dream, and baby, at this point I done had dreams about all of them. I don't even want to worry about the younger generations at all. Because I've been dealing with the so-called upper generation and then the ones that's at my peer level or whatever. But yeah, to God be all the glory, and we just leave it at that. As far as the other neighbors over to the right of me telling people, telling me, oh, we know who else don't like you. I don't give a damn. Thank you for more info of what I already knew and didn't care about. You just made me not care even more, even harder. And then, but to the left of me though, I am looking. I got my eyes on it, cause baby, That's what I was trying to kind of show y'all this morning. It's like coffee. I'm like, okay. Hey. Made me feel like, hey, I want the summertime to come back around. I ain't cut my grass and have a reason, but no. But even my son, I ain't from the front. I get him to ride up there. And when I get some batteries and stuff for the walkie-talkie, scope stuff out, whatever. But yeah, I used to be walking up there. And I could still walk up there, but I know now my purpose will only be to bait, be fishing. But anyways, yeah, so let me get off here, check on my kids, homeschooling, all that good stuff.